Welcome to day 15 of our school year. All right, let's go ahead and write down our beginning fraction. We have a total of 180 school days, and we're on day 15. So I'm going to try to find the factors of my numerator, which is 15. Two factors we always know are 1 and the number itself. Writing the commutative property of multiplication, I can write 15 times 1. Now I'm going to go through my divisibility rules in an orderly fashion to make sure I get all my factors down. So after 1, I tried 2. The rule for 2 is that it ends in an even number. 5 is odd, so 2 is not a factor. And if 2 is not a factor, no even number will be, so all I need to try are odd numbers now. After 2 is 3 that we try. The rule for 3 is that we add the digits together. 1 plus 5 equals 6. 6 is a multiple of 3, so 3 is a factor. 3 times 5, 5 times 3. Now all we need to try are the counting or natural numbers between 3 and 5. That's 4. 4 is even, and we said no even numbers will be a factor, so we're done. Let's go ahead and list them from least to greatest. 1, 3, 5, 15. That's 4 factors. That's more than 2 factors, so it is composite. Okay, now we need to find our greatest common factor. So let's start with 15, and if that doesn't work, we'll go to 5, 3, and then 1. So let's make our groups of 15. Make sure your shaded and unshaded are separate, but it doesn't matter how your groups look. They do not have to look like mine. Just make sure there's 15 in each group. I'm using the fact that I know that each row is 10, so 10 plus half the next one is 15, and then 5 plus 10. You can count them, but when you find other strategies using logic, you can go faster. But counting still works. I have none left over, so that means 15 is correct. 15 is our greatest common factor. Let's find out how many total groups of 15 we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I have one group of 15 shaded in. Okay, now I'm going to use my algorithm to prove the division with just numbers, because I did the division with a model. So, modeling is one of our standards of mathematical practice. So we have 180 we're dividing into groups of 15, and 15 by 15. Well, 10 times 15, the 0 moves it over a place, or the placeholder moves it over a place. 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 1 is 1. Numbers the same, 0 is a game, more on top, no need to stop. 1 times 15 is 15. More on the floor, go next door, regroup 10 more. 10 take away 5 is 5, 2 take away 1 is 1. 1 times 15 is 15. Numbers the same, 0 is a game, so we have no remainder. 10, 11, 12. Add up those partial quotients. For here, 1 times 15 is 15. Numbers the same, 0 is a game, and we get 1. Now we're going to check. Divisor times quotient plus remainder, divisor times quotient plus remainder. Okay, I'm going to use a different method than last time I did 2-digit by 2-digit, but if you're multiplying and I just see one line below, I know you didn't actually multiply. You're just writing down the answer, and that's not checking. You have to actually multiply to check. We're not going to add our remainders for either one of these because the identity property of addition says it's going to end up staying the same. Okay, so here we're going to use the expanded algorithm method. So I'm going to do 2 times 5, and then I'm going to do 2 times 10. Then I have 10 times 5 and 10 times 10. Last time we did the area model, and I'm going to switch back and forth between the two methods. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 10 is 20. We line up from the ones. 10 times 5 is 50. We line up from the ones. 10 times 10 is 100. Because I have 2 placeholders, moves it over 2 places. 1 times 1 is 1. We line up from the ones. They're lined up. We're going to add them. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 0. And then 1. 180 matches our dividend up here, so it checks. Okay, and then here we end up with the identity property of multiplication that says when you multiply by 1, it stays the same. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. That matches our dividend, so it checks. Okay, let's go ahead and write down, because we've proved that 1 is definitely our numerator and 12 is definitely our denominator. Now it's time to write it down in our data collection page. Trimester 1, week 4. Today is 8/28/19, and our fraction for today is 1/12. Let's go ahead and get out our number line. We did groups of 15. Groups of 15. So here we've completed 1 piece out of 12 pieces of 15 days. There's no lines below it, so it's our equivalent fraction in lowest terms or simplest form. But we do have some above it. We have 5 has an equivalent fraction. 3 has an equivalent fraction. Both of those are common factors, but 15 is the greatest common factor. And then here, 15/180ths is an equivalent fraction. All right, let's go ahead and put your number line away, erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.